welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess.
I'm Connie.
And today we are back for another Who Knows What Wednesday.
Yes, indeed. Before we get too deep into things, just a reminder, you can find us at all of our social medias. They are linked in the description below. We would very much appreciate a like, subscribe, and follow. That's how you can find out more about our posting schedule and any fun polls that we put up in the future.
Yes. Well, with trigger warning for today, we will be talking about some sensitive subjects. We're going to be talking briefly about animal cruelty, domestic violence, murder, and also murder of smaller children.
Okay. So you've been warned.
Yep. So today we are going to be talking about Arizona's most wanted man, Robert Fisher.
Oh, wait. I feel like there was a Criminal Minds episode about this.
Probably this guy is, well, we'll talk about it later.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he is up there for one of the most well-known, most wanted people.
Okay. Let's see how much I remember as we get into this.
All right, so Robert Fisher was born on April 13th, 1961 in Brooklyn, New York.
We have a lot of things coming back to New York recently.
But he was only born in New York.
Okay, we'll take it.
Mm-hmm. But I do agree.
Yeah, and even the one that I'm working on, the case file I'm putting together, is New York.
Why is it New York? So many things are New York.
A lot of people there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Robert grew up with two sisters. His parents were William Fisher and Jan Howell. When Robert was 15, his parents divorced, and Robert and his sisters lived in Arizona with William in Arizona. According to his friends, Robert was, quote, very bitter, end quote, about this divorce, and said it had long-lasting effects on him, and he thought his life would have been very different if his mom did not leave.
Oh, good. We're starting with mommy issues. Because that always ends well.
That's one of those other common themes that, comes up in these a lot.
Yeah. A girl with mommy issues, psychotic. A boy with mommy issues, murderous.
Guess so. Robert ended up joining the U.S. Navy, and he was an outdoorsman, hunter, and fisher. Robert had been hunting since he was very young. Friends even remembered him displaying odd, unusual behaviors, like once he killed an elk and he smeared its blood on his face. Or on other occasions, more than one, snuck up behind a family picnicking and emptied his gun into the air to scare them.
I don't know all of the words in the English dictionary, but unusual and incidents don't really seem to adequately cover that. I feel like we need something a little bit stronger to describe those.
Yeah. You'll probably have feelings about this one too. Forgot about that. Animal cruelty trigger warning. Robert also even shot and killed a dog, claiming that it was attacking his dog. Yeah.
All right. Don't like that.
Robert became a firefighter and worked until he had a back injury that forced him to retire.
Un momento. Hold on here. Let's just look at those, the triangle of concerning things. We've got concerning behavior around animals.
Yep.
Torture, potentially.
Yep.
Now, he has access to fireman stuff. Did he start any fires? Because, fire starting, animal torture, bedwetting. Like, that's a triangle we like to look at.
I can't say yet.
Oh, gotcha. Zip.
Also, when we're laughing in these episodes, I feel like I need to add this. We have nervous laughter.
Yes. We're not laughing because it's funny. We're laughing because it's not.
Yeah.
We should do that disclaimer literally every episode.
We need to, because people are gonna get upset because we laugh when we're nervous or just can't get words out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I think we do that on pretty much every Who Knows What Wednesdays.
Pretty sure we do.
Yeah, we'll start doing that disclaimer.
Yeah. So after Robert had to retire from being a firefighter, he then worked as a surgical catheter technician and a respiratory therapist at the hospital. Then in 1987, Robert married Mary Cooper, and they had 2 children, Bobby and Brittany. From the outside, their family seemed to be the perfect family.
It always is.
Always is. Robert was a firefighter, or used to be a firefighter, and the entire family was very deep involved in the church, so they truly seemed to be like the perfect household.
He was a veteran, technically.
Veteran, yep.
Yeah, oh good, we're checking boxes.
Yep. Mary served in the children's ministry at their church, and Robert would go to the men's group on Tuesday nights at the church. The pastor there actually started counseling Robert and Mary through a rougher patch in their marriage. Robert and Mary would constantly fight. Mostly their fights would be about money, and it got bad to the point that Mary ended up taking a job, and she told a friend that she was doing it for her security. That was bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, one of those, on most of our Wednesday episodes, I like to start it like lighthearted and like with the happy beginning stuff. This case really didn't start happy, and I couldn't find anything happy.
It's not sounding good.
No. Robert was described as being cruel and controlling toward his family, and was also known to exhibit disturbing and violent behaviors. Now, Bobby, his son, didn't like to hunt or fish, and Robert was very embarrassed by this. He's also a little kid.
Yeah, but I can see, this Robert guy being like, oh no, son of mine isn't going to be a manly man and blah, 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 blah. Like, I think we're all envisioning what his type is.
Yeah. Robert tried to teach Brittany and Bobby to swim by throwing them off the boat, and then he would pull them back in after.
Okay, it's a metaphor, throwing them in the deep end.
You don't actually do that.
You don't actually do that.
Not in that capacity. I mean,
like that. No. It's Jesus.
Yeah. So his marriage was rocky at best. Neighbors would hear Mary constantly yell at him that she could have done so much better than him and she wanted a divorce.
Oh, that's good for young children to hear.
Yeah. Robert had also told friends that he couldn't live without his family, and Mary had told some of her friends in March of 2021 that she was going to divorce Robert.
Why do I have a feeling I know where this is going?
Yeah, you might. Around this time, also, Mary had started to withdraw from her church activities. On April 9th, 2001, at 10 p.m., a neighbor heard a loud argument coming from Robert and Mary's house. On April 10th, around 8:30 a.m., their house exploded.
Exploded?
Kaboom? Kaboom. A boom.
Kaboom a boom.
Kaboom a boom.
Oh, is this what you said? Just got it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
He's a firefighter.
Uh-oh.
When first responders arrived on scene, their neighbors were actually already out trying to help get the fire down using their garden hoses.
Aww.
Which is really cute.
Good neighbors.
Good neighbors. Investigators found 3 people deceased inside of the home. 38-year-old Mary, 12-year-old Brittany, and 10-year-old Bobby. Robert was not in the home. Investigators didn't know where he was. Maybe he was at work and had left before the explosion happened. They then learned that Mary, Brittany, and Bobby's throats were cut prior to the explosion, and Mary was also shot in the back of the head, execution style.
Okay, none of it's good, but like, there's almost a mercy to the back of the head shooting. At least she maybe did or didn't know it was coming, depends on the situation, but like slitting the children's neck, they had to see that and like experience that. That is such a horrible way to, not that there's a good way to kill children, but like, that's awful.
Yeah, it's not good. The gas line from the furnace had been pulled, and the gas had been ignited by a candle. So that's what made the house go kaboom. Mary's Toyota 4Runner was missing, so it wasn't there. And after days of Robert not showing up, police officially named him as a suspect in his family's murder. So he's just gone.
I mean, yeah, that's not looking good. We're like, oh yeah, your family's been murdered, but like we can't find you anywhere. Interesting.
So they were able to trace Robert to an ATM near where they lived, and he had taken out $280.
Weird amount.
Weird amount, not that much.
Was that all that was in the account?
No.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ATM camera showed Mary's car in the background. Mary's father came on the news and told reporters, quote, "Wherever you are, Robert, we love you. Just come home. I don't know what's going on. We don't know anything for sure, but we'd like to hear it from you. Please, Robert." End quote. On April 20th, so we're 10 days post-house explosion, police got a tip from a camper who spotted a car that looked to match Mary's vehicle. Police went and found her Toyota 4Runner deep in the woods. It had been wiped clean, and the family dog Blue was there guarding it. He's alive, but he's there just standing by it.
He abandoned the dog too.
Robert was nowhere in sight. Nowhere. This dude just vanished into thin air. The next 3 days, SWAT teams and search and rescue units searched the woods and caves nearby to find Robert. But the manhunt went cold. The last true piece that the police have is Mary's car. Now, there are a lot of theories surrounding this case.
To be clear, he still has not been caught.
Yeah. He has not been caught. That's been like the last real update.
Good. Oh dear.
Yeah, so there are a lot of theories as to whether or not Robert was in the woods or if he made it out of the woods at all. One of the biggest theories out there is that he was a well-known survivalist and that Robert is out and living in the woods. To most people, this would mean certain death, and it would be highly improbable that he is out there. But the thing with this is that there hasn't been any signs of anyone living in the woods. This environment, it's like the terrain is very harsh. The weather can be harsh. And he would have had to make some sort of camp, some sort of shelter or something. And there is no trace of anything.
And you said this is where exactly in Arizona again?
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona. Because I'm just thinking, I've been to like Phoenix, and I'm just thinking, don't remember a lot of trees there.
Ooh. Scottsdale.
Been there.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Been there.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of the picturesque suburbs. It's a lot of retired folks and then a few families here and there, but mainly retired folks from my memory. Okay.
And the woods are like actual woods. I did find some pictures. That will be on our Instagram, so go check those out.
The handle for our Instagram is listed in the description.
Yes.
My English left me there.
That's been me this whole time. So this is where they found the Forerunner.
Harsh terrain sounds correct. I didn't expect snow.
I didn't expect trees. I think of Arizona. I think of like barren land.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
I can see how, like, looking at that, if you find no trace of like a shelter, probably not the place where he is. Unless he has like an underground bunker.
Well, and so that's another kind of theory that we'll get into. But another thing is investigators were talking to like professional survivalists and talking about like, would this even be probable? And in that area, there are some berries. Like, there's not much to live off of, out there. There's not really food or anything. There are some berries that are edible, but when Robert disappeared, those wouldn't be ready to be eat, and it would still take like 2 to 3 months before those even started popping up.
And I suppose they'd find signs of him hunting.
Right. So when they first found the Forerunner, there were some sets of footprints leading to the nearby caves. Some think that he used the caves to cover his tracks and to take shelter and then was able to escape in the woods. Some believe that he went there to take his own life. Some people believe that he could have fallen in the deep crevices and wasn't able to make it back out. The cave that Robert went in looked like a whole bunch of holes. Some just led to dead ends, and some went underground for miles and miles.
Terrifying. Okay.
We got some of those in St. Paul.
Terrifying. Okay.
Yeah, some caves.
Yeah, see, I don't go near them though, because my dad, he grew up in St. Paul years ago. And he knows someone whose child, I believe, had gone exploring in the caves and actually, I believe, ended up dying because of carbon monoxide, because of the gases in the caves.
Most of the caves in St. Paul are like boarded up, like you can't enter them, but obviously people are stupid and every once in a while they do that. Some of the sewer systems are connected to the caves, and every once in a while you hear of like firefighters having to do search and rescue in those caves for teenagers that got in there.
Oh god. No, thank you. See, my dad was smart and he scared me with those stories when I was really young. But I mean, when he was growing up, they didn't have anything boarded up. Like, his generation is the reason stuff has been boarded up.
Yeah. Even still, there are a few places that you can still get into, and it's not well closed off at all. I do know that they did make a little restaurant cave thing down in St. Paul.
Of course they did.
I think it's down by like the Wabasha area.
I was gonna say, this feels like a Stone Arch Bridge type deal, or like not far off.
It's like south side, I don't know, down by Wabasha something. I don't know. Like the Wabasha caves down. I'm trying to think of what's close by it. I don't know. But anyways, it's like a swinger thing, not swingers, not swinger, like swing dancing and like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that time period that did not come out properly.
No, I'm like, now I got you. I'm like, so there's pineapples everywhere.
No, like swing dancing, and I want to say like the flapper era. Is that the 20s?
Gotcha.
Yeah, roaring 20s. Yeah, so essentially it's just like one of those that I think it would be fun to go to, but
they're leaning into the speakeasiness of
They
it, I'm
are.
sure.
Yeah. It looks cool. Looks like it would be a fun place to visit.
I would not want to venture too far from the entrance.
No, like the whole thing is legit in a cave.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I'm worried about collapse.
See, that's my thing, where I'm like, the level where I just, nope.
I don't want to die.
I don't want new. I'm so good. I must have had an ancestor or a sibling of an ancestor somehow way back along the lines that got killed in a cave-in or something. So the rest of my generation's like, hey, we don't do that. Remember Uncle Bob? Yeah.
It's down by Lake Harriet.
Oh, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's off of Wabasha by Lake Harriet.
I love that. Wabasha.
Here we go.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe one day, but it still sketches me out.
Yeah, not to mention cave spiders. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back to Robert. So they found his footprints going to the nearby caves. One of the investigators described these caves as being like a huge honeycomb.
It sounds interesting, but also no thank you.
Mm-hmm. But with all this in mind, investigators brought out sewer cameras to use to get down there. And they also threw in gas grenades to see if there were any signs of life.
Smoke them out.
But there were none.
Hmm.
There were none.
They're lucky a bear wasn't hibernating in there or something.
Are there bears in Arizona?
That was literally exactly my thought. I feel like bears are everywhere. Aren't they one of the species that literally are everywhere except polar bears?
Oh, they have black bears. They're the only bear species found in Arizona.
There we go.
I was going to say, from the picture, I would be surprised if they weren't bears, but that might just be our brains going, we're in Minnesota. Yeah, we have bears.
We have bears that we stay far away from because they may look cute and cuddly from afar, but up close they will cuddle your innards.
If not friend, why friendship?
Deceptive friend, bitchy middle school friend. Friendship, not friend.
Ooh.
And y'all just pictured somebody, didn't you? You know you did. We all did. We all just had a face pop in there.
So they've searched those caves for years. They're just looking for any signs of evidence of Robert being there. Another theory is that he left in the woods. It's a short walk to the highway and less than a mile from the Fort Apache Indian Reservation. Detectives wouldn't be able to go out there. It's a sovereign nation, and they need approval and would need an escort to bring them in. A lot of people don't think that it would have been hard for Robert to do this, and he would know that this is a place that the police wouldn't be able to come after him.
I just gotta wonder how that's gonna work though with the reservation and like the tribal cops and everything else they have, where like all of a sudden there's this random white man who is on your land, and historically that is not usually gone well. So like I can't imagine them just being like, oh yeah, no problem, like welcome, like what are you here for? Oh, you don't like the US government? Cool, same, great. Like I don't see that flying.
I didn't either. My only thought process was if he's just hiding out on their land.
Hiding from them included? Maybe.
I feel like it would be maybe easier.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know how anything works though, so don't come after me.
And we're spitballing here, folks. We are not experts. If you came here looking for expert advice, no.
You got to keep searching.
Keep scrolling. But like and subscribe first, and then keep scrolling.
This also happened just before 9/11.
Also, a pretty much immediate diversion of resources.
Well, not just that. Travel security was not, back then, was not how it currently is.
That's right. See, we've only known flight post 9/11.
Yeah, because we were too young to know anything before.
No. And like, honestly, now it's intense. I have had my bag searched because those Go-Go, not sponsored, applesauce squeeze things, which are a wonderful snack, adults included, not just for children. Yeah, those were flagged as potentially explosive material. Yeah, I had my bag searched twice because of that.
Oh, I've never been on a plane, guys. I haven't gone through this experience.
TSA is a very stressful experience.
I've heard, and I'm not looking forward to it.
You'll be good because you will see in advance and you'll be like, all right, do this, put this bag here. And like, once you have a system, you're good. But then it's a curse because you watch the other people where it's like, oh my God, have you never interacted out in the world before, ever? Like, why? Why?
Going to the airport stresses me out.
Yeah.
And I've never been on a plane.
It's a stressful experience. And then you get in there and you're like, all right, I'm in. And then you inevitably realize that you forgot a water bottle because you can't bring any water bottles through unless they're empty. And so then you get there and you realize you're like, shit, and it's shoot. And then you have to stop into the little convenience store and it's $6.75 for a water bottle.
So you can bring an empty water bottle.
You can bring an empty one through TSA.
And
like
then
you can
fill
bring
it
that
up.
one through.
Okay, so if it's empty, and then go to a fountain, fill it up, and then you're good.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
See, I need like a brief. You need to brief me on how to go to the airport.
Before you ever fly, I'll be like, all right, this is what you need. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but pre-check is a really good idea because the TSA lines suck, especially around the holidays.
You're giving me anxiety and I don't even have a trip plan or anything. Like,
no, like after a few times you get used to it and you're like, okay. But it's the annoyance. Yeah. It's the people that annoy you because you're like, seriously?
Oh, yeah. Planes. So this is pre 9/11. So this could have given Robert an opportunity to hop on a plane, leave the country, or even to drive down to Mexico and escape there. Early on in the investigation, investigators thought that he had either a getaway car in the woods ready to go, or he hitchhiked a ride. And if he took the biggest thing with that is if he took off on foot, his dog would have gone with him. So his dog was still there.
Wait, so was his dog tied to the car or just sitting there?
Just there. Just chilling.
I mean, if it's a really trained dog, like it doesn't have separation anxiety, maybe he could have told it to stay and then like went away.
It was a blue heeler.
Well-trained dog.
Very smart dogs. Yeah. So it's hard to say. Hard to say.
That is weird. He didn't take the dog with him.
I know. An FBI agent stated that Robert doesn't really stand out. He looks like an average guy. They even updated a poster of him with age enhancements. He has a stiff gait from his injury as a firefighter and has a surgical scar on his lower back. He has a gold tooth or even a missing tooth if he got it taken out. Did you find a picture of him?
Yeah, he's not exactly what I was expecting, but he also kind of is exactly what I was expecting.
I know.
The frosted tips really say something. Is that actually him or is that someone else's picture?
Let me see.
Someone else's picture.
Okay. It's like, I can show you the pictures.
He does look like someone who was Navy firefighter. Oh. He does look generic.
I know. Do you want to see the dog?
Yeah. Baby.
That's a blue heeler for you.
Yeah, baby.
Blue heeler for you folks. Name was Blue. But yeah, very average.
He was just removed from the top 10 fugitive list in 2021. So police followed a set of footprints that led onto the reservation, but uncovered no sign of Fisher. I'm reading directly from Wikipedia here, y'all, so bear with me. A couple reported seeing a man resembling Fisher walking along the nearby Young Road several days before the discovery of the car. According to them, when the woman saw him, she said to her husband, "That looks like Robert Fisher." However, they waited until after the vehicle was found to report the tip. Lori Greenback, an acquaintance of the Fisher family, said that her husband had gone camping with Fisher in the area where the truck was found shortly before April 10th. She said that her husband believed that Fisher was scouting the area. According to her, he was very familiar with the region.
I remember seeing that only on Wikipedia, but I couldn't find it anywhere else.
The source for that is a website called Arizona's Family, written by Brianna Whitney, published in 2019, titled Robert Fisher, Dead or Alive.
So he could have been scouting. Everything is up for speculation, to be honest. So investigators, and I just relooked at the 10 most wanted fugitives on the FBI list, and he is no longer on there. For sure.
Yeah, here I've got the note. Again, from Wikipedia. On November 3rd, 2021, Fisher was removed from the FBI top 10 most wanted list. He was replaced by, bear with me, Yulan Adonai Arkaga Carias?
Okay.
The alleged leader of MS-13 in Honduras.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And their reasoning was, and this is a direct quote from the FBI, because the extensive publicity Fisher's case received during its nearly 20 years on the list has not resulted in his successful location and or capture, the case no longer fulfills that requirement. Despite his removal from, and that's the end of the quote, despite his removal from the top 10 list, Fisher remains a wanted fugitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so investigators believe that he could be still in a small town. He could be getting paid cash as a handyman or just blending in a big city.
So FBI agent, reading from Wiki, FBI agent Bob Caldwell's sense of his personality, his being Fisher, and habits is that Fisher is, quote, arrogant, he's cocky, he's a know-it-all, and a loner, end quote. Fisher has been known to chew tobacco, and favors the Copenhagen brand. Mm-hmm. His look has been described as average, but he sometimes walks in an odd, erect manner with his chest out due to a back problem stemming from the injury that he suffered as a firefighter, and is an avid hunter and fisherman. Fisher is considered armed and extremely dangerous and has ties to Florida and New Mexico.
Correct. So the night before the explosion, Robert's cell phone turned off and never turned back on again. They've been keeping a close eye on his bank account, but nothing's been touched since that ATM trip for taking out the $280. In 2009, police actually detained a man in Canada looking like Robert. He had the same build, same back scar, and had a gap in his tooth where a gold tooth could have been. But when they brought him in, the fingerprints didn't match. Scottsdale PD and the FBI state that they still get new tips each week. In 2020, FBI agent Taylor Hanna took over the case. Hannah's approach is that they don't want Robert to feel like they're not out there looking for him, because that's not true. They will be revisiting everything from the case files and look to see if anything stands out to them. Things that may have been overlooked, going and talking to old witnesses to see if they remember anything else. In order to keep moving forward, they have to go back to the beginning. FBI agent Hanna says, quote, "It's hard to think that he's still alive, but in my mind, I have to believe that he's still out there," end quote. Robert has been the only suspect in this case, and there is still an active warrant out for his arrest today. Robert was placed on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list in 2002, like we said, up until 2021. The FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for tips that lead directly to the arrest of Robert Fisher. And like Connie said earlier, Robert is still considered to be armed and dangerous. Robert would be 63 years old today. His description is brown hair, 6 foot, medium build, blue eyes, weighs about 190 pounds, has a light complexion, white race, and is American. Some notable remarks are his gold crown on his upper left first bicuspid tooth. He has an exaggerated erect posture from his low back injury. He is known to heavily use chew tobacco. And you can submit a tip to the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. So I'll put his original photo and the age-enhanced photos on the Instagram, along with other ones. So go check out our Instagram. And the sources I used was phoenixnewstimes.com, 12news.com, cnn.com, fbi.gov, and azcentral.com.
Yes. Well, anything else you want to add in here?
No, this guy just vanished into thin air.
Again, one of those mysteries where I don't think we get those answers on this side of the life or on Earth.
No, I mean the odds of him still being out there are.
He was a survivalist. He'd be in his 70s now.
No, he would be 63.
Wait, you said he was born in the early 60s, or did I mishear?
He was born in 61.
Oh, yeah, he is 63 today.
Yeah.
Duh. I was trying to base it off my parents' age, and I was like, oh, yeah. And then I'm like, no, wait, wrong parent. Wrong. Flippy flappy.
Yeah, so he's 63 today. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, so many things could have happened to him.
I know. It is bizarre that he evaded capture for 20 years, so that does make me think something happened to him, but he has the skills where technically he could have survived more so than the average, family annihilator. I know.
It's just hard to think of, like, even if he survived, where did he go? But I don't understand all that stuff, so.
Girl, I don't. He's got ties to New Mexico and Florida, according to the internet. So.
I know. And like we said, this was pre 9/11. We don't know what that world looked like.
We really don't. It's just so weird that he only took $280.
I know. That's the part that always stood out to me. I'm like, why 280? That's an odd number. And you've never touched it in 20 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I have questions.
I have a lot of questions that unfortunately will never be answered. Most likely. Who knows?
We did have Eve Wilkowitz's case that was solved after 40 years, so you never know. And you guys should check out that case. I believe we titled it The Coldest Case in Vermont Solved.
Nope, that one was Rita Curran.
That was Rita Curran. Oh.
Yep, that was Rita.
What did we title Eve's?
Eve, where is my podcast planning notes? Eve.
Was that one just 40-year cold case turned hot?
I think something like that.
Yeah.
Cold case turned hot, the 40-year story of Eve Wilkowitz.
Nice. See, I may come up with these titles, but it's kind of hard to have them all stick in your noggin.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that's this guy. That's Robert.
Nice. Not nice. Again,
Very
that's
not
like
nice.
The uncomfortable laugh of just like, huh. Yeah. Not nice.
Yeah.
Very not nice.
But also, again, he's never been captured. We don't even know if he's the one that did it.
Good point. That is a very good point. He is technically only... No, I think they did charge him, or I did list him like he's being charged with the 3 murders and
He's being
flight.
charged with it, but there's been no trial.
But not conviction. You are correct.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to point it out.
That is a good distinction. That is a very good distinction.
We're just stating facts over here.
We just state facts. Do not feel the need to come and correct us in person. Just leave mean comments on the internet, because that's what people do. Or you could just not, and you could just be like, okay, not for me, and move on. No love lost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking too much of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On that note, thank you for joining us today. Again, you can follow us on all of our social medias. They are linked down below in the description. We would very much appreciate a like and subscribe. Otherwise, anything else we're going to add in?
No, I don't think so. We'll see you next week for another Who Knows What Wednesday, or on Saturday for Eclipse.
Our book reviews.
Yes.
Which are painful. But that's okay. Until next time.
Bye.
Adios. 20 years, damn.
20 years. Dang. Not the oldest, but not still a long time.
But just more recent. That's why it just feels like, really? 20 years?
Yeah.
But it was right before 9/11.
Right before 9/11.